What it do, and welcome to Allow Me to Butt In Sports. Today we're going to talk about Dak Prescott and where he ranks amongst the upper echelon of quarterbacks in the league. And the fact of the matter is, when you boil down the numbers for Dak Prescott, he really does rank amongst some of the greats. And what really sparked my interest in this is the fact that you have a wide variety of opinions in terms of what you get with Dak Prescott. Because there's people who think he's barely top 20, who I think they're really just trolling. Then you have people who think he's just an average quarterback. You have people who think he's a top 10 guy, top 5 guy. Like my buddy at the Cowboys Beat, who makes some great Cowboys content. You should give him a follow. He can tell you why he thinks Dak Prescott's top 5. But when it boils down to it for me, where does he rank in terms of the upper echelon of quarterbacks? And what it boils down to for me, he's right on the door knocking on it. He's not quite in the room yet. He's really literally just knocking on the door, because the fact of the matter is, yeah, he puts up some serious numbers. There's no question about what Dak Prescott has done number-wise in this league. He can do some really great things on the ground, in the air, and he's been dynamic in this league. There's no question about it. And he's evolved from what he was in the beginning, because in the beginning he really was just dinking and dacking. But now he really can stretch the field. He can move around the pocket. And honestly, a year removed from that ankle injury, that gruesome ankle injury, I really think we're going to see him get his legs back from under him again and be able to throw on the run and, you know, use that play action to his advantage again. Now, the problem that I have is, okay, and the reason I don't have him quite top 10, I really have him knocking on the door at 11, just because he just hasn't accomplished those things in those big time moments, in those big time games where it really matters. We haven't seen him take those steps in the playoffs. And you're going to tell me some things about some of the other guys that I have ahead of him, but the problem that I have with Dak is, yes, he's got these numbers, but there's some of these numbers that come in games like the one against Cleveland where he puts up 500 yards in the game, but we lose by 11. The game against Seattle, you know, a game where he's got 470 yards in the game and he loses the game by 7. Never really has a chance to win the game. Game against Green Bay where he puts up 463 yards in the game, loses by 10. Never really has a chance to win the game. Yeah, you're putting up the yards, but when is it really coming? It's not coming when it matters. It's not coming when you're really having a shot to win the game. The team is good enough to keep these games close, and that's really the bottom line. And I will say this, Dak Prescott has a lot of questions around him, around his offensive coordinator and his coach. But what I really think from Dak Prescott in this upcoming year, because I truly believe he will be the franchise quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, I honestly think he takes that step this season, because all these guys are his. All these guys are drafted up under him. All these guys are his guys. It's CeeDee Lamb, it's Jalen Tolbert, it's Michael Gallup. You know, the only exception is James Washington, and we'll see what happens with him. But I honestly believe that Dak is right at 11, knocking on the door, waiting to jump into that elite class. But what do y'all think? Let me know in the comments.